Now, we are going to learn something very important about strings in Java, and that is strings are immutable. But before we understand what that means, let's first break down the word immutable. The term immutable simply means unchangeable. So when we say something is immutable, we mean it cannot be modified after it's created. In Java, an immutable object is one whose internal state never changes. Once it's built, it stays the same for the rest of its life. This makes immutable objects safe to use in multi-threaded environments because no matter how many threads access it, the object remains consistent. Now let's come back to our main topic. What is an immutable string in Java? As you already know, a string in Java is a sequence of characters and it's treated as an object of the string class. But what makes it special is that once a string object is created, its content can't be changed. You can change the reference but not the actual content inside that object. So every time you try to modify a string, like by adding something to it, replacing characters, or converting it to uppercase, Java quietly creates a new string object behind the scenes. The original string stays untouched, and here's something interesting. The string class is marked as final, which means you cannot extend it or override its methods. This helps keep its behavior consistent and secure. So to summarize, once a string is created, its value cannot be changed. That's exactly what we mean when we say strings are immutable in Java. Now let's write some code and see this behavior in action. We'll create a new class and call it immutable example. Inside the class, we use the shortcut main and press enter. IntelliJ creates the main method for us. Now let's declare our first string. We type string reference variable name original and then equals within double quotes type Java. This creates a string object using a string literal. Now let's make a copy of that string. We type string reference variable name copy and then equals original. Both original and copy point to the same value, which is Java. Now let's print both variables to see what they hold. Let's type sout, press enter. IntelliJ expands it into system.out.println. Inside double quotes, type the word original followed by a colon and a space. Then use the plus sign to concatenate the variable named original. Finally, add a semicolon at the end. Then another line inside double quotes, type copy followed by a colon and a space. Then use the plus sign to join it with the variable named copy. End the line with a semicolon. Great. Now comes the important part. Let's modify the original string by adding the word language to it. We type original and call the concat method using a dot. Inside the parentheses, pass the text language in double quotes with a space before the word. End the line with a semicolon. This line creates a new string that says Java language and stores it in the original variable. Now let's print both again. So here, to save time, I am going to write these println statements quickly. Perfect. Now go ahead and run the program. You will see this output: original, Java, copy, Java, modified original, Java language. Copy after original was changed, still Java. So what just happened here? Even though we changed the original string, the copy still holds the old value, Java. That's because when we modified the original, Java didn't update it in place. Instead, it created a brand new string in memory with the updated value. The copy variable still points to the original version, untouched, and this is the power of immutability. It means once a string is created, it stays the same no matter what. Java gives you a brand new object when you make changes. This behavior protects your data from accidental changes, especially when working in large programs or with multiple threads. It also makes your code easier to understand, test, and debug. So the next time you are working with strings, remember, you are never changing the original. You are always creating a new one. And that's why immutability is such an important part of Java's design.